We know that tomorrow is Shabbat Zachor, Parashat Zachor, where we have we take out a second Sefer Torah and we read from the end of Parashat Ki Tetzeh and Devarim that the part from the Torah is Zachor Asher Asa Lecha Amalek. Remember that which Amalek did to you. Now there are a few questions here. We'll try to address them very briefly as to what the nature of this mitzvah is. There's a mitzvah that we have to verbally recognize and remember what Amalek did to us back then, and in theory what they try to do to us every generation. But the mitzvah is simple, that you have to recognize it bapeh. Now there are two questions at play. First is the mitzvah an obligation for us to hear it in a minyan with a Sefer Torah as well, or not? So the Sefer HaChinuch, one of the first poskim or rishonim that discusses this mitzvah, doesn't make such a distinction that you have an obligation to listen to it in a minyan. He says you have to read it, you have to mention it once a year, or you have to mention it and remember what they did to you. And similarly, the Rambam as well says you have a mitzvah to remember bepeh, verbally, what Amalek did to you without any mention of reading it from a Sefer Torah or in a minyan. However, the Rosh and the Rosh and the Tosot, Rabbeinu Tam, they explain that because it says Zachor from what? From a Sefer. So therefore, there is an obligation that you have to hear it specifically from a Sefer Torah in a minyan. So that's the first machloket between the Rishonim. Is there such an obligation to hear it in a minyan from a Sefer Torah or not? The halacha, we are machmir, the men for sure, we go out of our way to listen to it being read from a Sefer Torah in a minyan on this Shabbat that precedes Purim, or obviously you can have it again when you read it in the regular parasha at the end of Ki Tetzeh as well. But that idea is because there are Rishonim that say that the mitzvah is to hear it in the minyan of 10 people, versus other Rishonim who say that no, it's the mitzvah is to hear it and mention it once a year, and the Rabbanim instituted to do it with a minyan of 10. Now what about women? Are women obligated in this mitzvah as well or not? So there's also a machloket, and it stems from the next mitzvah in the Sefer HaChinuch, where he discusses the obligation of destroying Amalek, and he explains that who does this obligation apply to? This obligation, the mitzvah to destroy Amalek, applies to the men who wage war. Because destroying Amalek involves going to war and destroying all of them and killing all of them. So therefore, because women are patur, women are exempt, there's never an obligation for women to go out to battle. Therefore, according to this Sefer HaChinuch, they would be patur from the mitzvah. They would be exempt from the obligation of hearing Parashat Zachor and referencing this once a year. However, there are other poskim that disagree and hold that no, even women are applied, and they don't take those who wage war literally, and they also agree that women are obligated to hear it. So for that reason, Rav Ovadia and Rabbi Chaim explain that any women who are capable of and don't have overwhelming responsibilities at home and can come to make it to shul, make it to Knesset tomorrow to hear the Parashat Zachor from the Torah, it's beautiful, it's praiseworthy, they'll see a lot of bracha. But if they can't, if it's difficult, if the kids won't let them, if there are any other reasons why they cannot, there's no reason for them to bend over and really go put themselves through a lot of pressure to come to Knesset, because at the end of the day, they're not obligated from the letter of the law. It happens to be that what we do is we do take out the Torah again a second time, which is perfectly allowed, and we have a second reading for any women who want to come later, so that way we can make a compromise where the men who hear it first, then they have to go and watch the children, and the women who came later and weren't able to be in the minyan while the Torah was being read because their children were making noise, they have an opportunity to make it up as well after tefillah, and that minhag that we have is also perfectly fine and brought down halacha as well. So the 2 points of the Zachor, but it goes without saying that tomorrow we're reading it, and we should have in mind that we're fulfilling the mitzvah of remembering Amalek, what they did to us. Both the reader and the minyan and the congregation should have kavanah, have in mind that they're fulfilling that mitzvah. Be'ezrat Hashem, have a wonderful day.